Hello, my name is Matthew Wilner, and this is my final video for the 2021 DDPY Positively Unstoppable Challenge. Basically, my challenge ran from January 15th through July 14th of 2021. Basically, it just covered that 6 months, but for me, my journey started when basically at birth, because at birth I'm a twin. I was born pigeon-toed, so my feet were turned in really bad, and I'd have surgery on my legs when I was born to straighten out my feet, and I'd have full leg casts on my legs, and I found out later in life that affected my right foot, right ankle. Basically, I started having issues in my early 20s. I became a union painter like my father when I was 24, and that physical labor really put increased damage on my foot. Basically, I wore out all the cartilage in my foot because I was basically born, it was a birth defect. And just over time, basically it took about 6 years for me to completely wear out the cartilage in my foot. I went to podiatrists, I went to foot doctors. I had arches in my shoes because I'm actually flat-footed as well. And finally had to come to terms with getting foot surgery in early 2013. But I mean, in the process of my foot issues in my early 20s, the weight piled on, because basically I'd go to work, come home, sit on the couch and eat and whatever. Didn't really exercise. And the job I was doing was physical labor, so I would, I really didn't gain that much weight, but I wasn't exactly healthy. I had a healthy weight, so basically struggled with weight because of my foot. So after that foot surgery in 2013, before that I was making a pretty good living as a union painter. My wife was a stay-at-home mom, taking care of my 2 daughters. I was able to supplement her income and have her stay home with the kids. So before the foot surgery, I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to miss work. I didn't want to put the financial situation, I didn't want it to strain too much. Basically, I wanted to get the foot surgery done, bounce back, go back to painting again. So the foot surgery was February 13th of 2013. The foot doctor said I'd be back to work in 6 months. I wasn't. My financial situation became worse. 6 months in, basically June of 2013 is when we had to file Chapter 13 bankruptcy just to keep our house. And I was actually told that time by my foot doctor that I needed to lose weight. I wasn't walking at the time. I wasn't able to put weight on my foot at the time, but I needed to lose weight and find a desk job. I basically barely graduated high school. That's why I joined the painters union. I joined a trade. Now I was told to do something different, and I was completely helpless, physically and mentally. Mentally at the end of my rope. Mentally done with everything going on. I had completely no control over what was going on. It was a really bad time. I was fortunate enough to stay home with my kids at the time. My older one was starting kindergarten, 1st grade, so I was able to spend time with her after I was able to start walking. And then my younger daughter, I got to hang out with her all day, but when you're at you're going through a financial crisis, you're going through a physical, mental crisis, and you're sitting next to your child and you're trying to smile, you're trying to be happy. It's hard to do. That was me. I was trying to keep it together. My wife found a job again. She went back to work. I saw Arthur Borman's video around the same time. I related to him because of his crutches. because of his physical ailments, and he overcame them. But I wasn't ready at that time in 2013. I had so many other things on my mind. I had my financial situation. I had my weight, my physical abilities. I just wasn't there. I had so many other things on my agenda. But fast forward to 2014, I was actually able to get another job. In high school, I worked at the auto parts store, and I made some connections there. I worked at Pep Boys, and then 2014, I reached out to some people I knew from Pep Boys, and they actually helped me get a job at a parts store here in town. Basically starting new. But luckily, I was able to keep my house because it's bankruptcy, and I had to start over. And I remember applying for the job. I wanted to be a delivery driver because I was afraid I couldn't stand all day because of my foot, because it was hard. It was hard to barely stand and walk after the surgery. And this man that I interviewed with said, he said, delivery drivers are part-time. I'm looking for a full-time sales associate work on the parts counter. And I had parts counter experience, and I said, well, I can't stand all day. He's like, well, I'll get you a chair. I'll get you a stool. I need you. He gave me a chance when no one else would. He gave me an opportunity to support my family, and I took it. I started there as a sales associate April 1st of 2014. By March 1st of 2015, I was a store manager. I busted my ass every day to get to that point. And I was finally getting my financial stability back. But then I realized after becoming a store manager about 6 months to a year in that the stress was killing me. I was still eating like crap. Meanwhile, still taking pain medicine because of my foot. I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, working 60 plus hours a week. Then in 2017, a man that worked at the company I worked at, he was higher up the rank. He had a heart attack. And pretty much, he was on life support for a few months, but he pretty much passed. His family kept him alive for a few months, but he was pretty much gone. And he passed away a few months later, and that really got to me. I was doing all this for my family. I switched jobs for my family. I was getting financial security for my family. And I didn't want to kill myself in the process. So I still had to find a job that would fit. I still had to find something I could do that I could take care of myself and not be so stressed out. That was still number one on my agenda. I couldn't worry about my weight. I still saw Arthur's video. I still saw DDPY, but I couldn't. I had to take care of priorities in my life. Then I was fortunate enough in September of 2017, I saw a job opportunity at the community college, the College of Southern Nevada. My mother actually works at the College of Southern Nevada, and she actually said, hey, there's a job coming up. Would you be interested? And I said, hell yes. It was a big pay cut, huge pay cut, but I had to do it for myself. I had to do it to lower my stress level. So I got the position, and it was a huge weight lifted off. The stress was gone after a few months. And then early 2018, I felt less stressed. Then my body started to really tell me, like, Matt, you got to do something. You got to do something. And the new job I took, I really didn't do that much. It was a desk job, and the parts store was on my feet all day. But the other job, this new job, was in a desk, and I started gaining more weight, and I'm like, damn, like I can't win. No stress, but now I'm gaining all this weight because of your foot, Matt, because of your foot. You can't do this, you can't do that because of your foot. So 2018 rolled by. As it does, time rolls by. Time gets away from us. I was just happy that I was finally rebuilding my life, finally rebuilding my financial situation, because I struggled for so long. And then July of 2019, I was on a family vacation in Chicago. Went to the zoo. I could barely walk. I was out of shape, and I only lasted about 2 hours. But excuse me, it really hurt me because me and my family never really took vacations, and that was one of the big vacations we took. And here I am. I can't barely walk. We go to the zoo. They've never been to the zoo, and they're all excited and happy and having a great time. And I come in and say, we need to leave. You know, and I was really rude about it. I said, we need to leave, go to the gift shop. Let's get out of here. I'm done. And they're like, I remember seeing the look on their faces. They were like let down, but then they knew, they're like, yeah, that's Dad. You know, he can't really get around. And my excuses became their excuses. So they went to the gift shop. And while they were in the gift shop, I went to go sit under a tree. And then a man pulled up in a power chair next to me. He looked around the same age, about the same weight. I looked at him and I saw a future vision of myself. I saw that was going to be me in a few years if I didn't do something. And it was time, because I didn't want to be like that man. I didn't want to be in a power chair going to the zoo in my early 40s, not being able to walk. And then I didn't want to do that to my kids. And then I didn't want to do that to my grandkids. I wanted to be there. Or I would not say, like, I was present in my kids' life, but I wanted to be there. I wanted to be in their life and not just a fixture off to the side. I wanted to be involved in everything. And when you can't move around that good, you're there, but you're not involved. So sitting there, basically, I saw him, that man, and I said, fuck that, out loud. And I don't know if anyone was watching. I didn't care. I said, fuck that. That is not going to be me. And that was my moment. And then the next thought that ran through my head was Arthur's video, DDPY. I said, I have DDPY. It worked for him. It could work for me. And then that was it. I came back, got the app July 14th, 2019. Basically, here I am over 2 years later. And I did it. I changed my lifestyle. I changed my life for the better. It took me how long? 6 years to get the app. 2 years to flip the script, to flip my health. And here I am. I entered last year's challenge. I didn't even know there was a challenge when I first started. It really didn't matter to me regardless. I was doing this either way. I entered last year's challenge and it was great. I was able to see transformations of people, and that was one thing I liked about it. I loved about it. And I joined this year's challenge because I'm seeing the same thing. People's transforming their lives. And I know what it takes to transform, to finally, kick it, like flip that switch. And I respect anyone who's flipped the switch. I don't necessarily look at how long it takes someone to progress or how long it takes them to lose a certain amount of weight or do whatever. I look at that flipping of the switch. And if you flip that switch and you're moving forward, congratulations. You're doing it. So, basically, this is my video. This is me. I mean, how much weight did I lose in 2 years? 143 pounds. How many inches? A ton of inches. I drilled 13 holes in my old belt. I went from a 4X shirt to a large shirt. I went from a 46-inch pant to a 36-inch pant. Let's go to my SmackDown goals of the 6 months. My SmackDown goal was to get to my goal weight of under 200 pounds. I started at 219. I now weigh 190. I've never weighed 190 pounds since I can remember. I think I weighed more than 190 in 7th grade. 40 years young now, so you do the math. One other big SmackDown goal was I'm seeking my DDPY Level 1 certification, and I wanted to take a health and wellness and nutrition class. I took that in the spring. The last time I took a college course was when I was 19, I took an English class. I dropped out halfway through. And I took this class because I was really interested in the subject. I wanted to pass the class, and my SmackDown goal was to get an A in the class, and I did. I busted my ass, and I earned that A. I had to read the material 3-4 times. It took me, I had to use every minute to take a quiz because they give you time limits. I had to use every minute, every second to take a semester exam. My final exam took every last second to do it, but I did it. And that's a huge non-scale victory, a huge victory for me. Another victory for me is I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna keep doing this. You know, this is it. This is the only way to live. Like this. I wasn't really living before, and this is living now. And I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself for what I've accomplished in over 2 years. And I mean, what else can I say? And I'm gonna keep putting myself out there on DDPY Facebook pages. And keep putting things out there, because maybe I could help someone flip the switch. So, again, this is me. And this is my final video. Thank you guys for watching. It's a long video, but thank you for watching, and do I hope to inspire you? No, yes and no. I hope to, I just wanted to share my story and why DDPY is so important to me. And stay tuned, because I'm going to become a DDPY level 1 instructor one day, and I'm going to be the guy at the front of that class showing people what's possible, because I am living proof of what's possible. Thank you.